Combate Global. Combate Global.
What an incredible fight! Can you believe what you just saw? We have a champion!
There's a heat advisory in South Florida, but rest assured, it's a lot hotter inside La Jaula of Combate Global. Welcome everyone watching us on Fuse, Rodolfo Roman, Alex Wendling, and El Jefe, Campbell McLaren.
That's me.
Campbell, Patrick Lehane coming in a very tough position here, taking on an experienced fighter.
You know, I think we all love Patrick. I think this is, I don't want to say do or die, but this is a very, very important fight. And I worry about this Irishman. You know, it's like 40 degrees in Dublin right now, you know, and he's come into Miami and it's 180. So that's going to be a challenge.
Before we get to the action of Ireland versus USA, we have Veronica Vargas, the undefeated fighter, taking on City of Mexico's own Nadia Vera. So Rodolfo is going to be on double duty tonight, and I'll send it to him for the official announcement.
Esta es la pelea coestelar de la noche. This is your co-main event of the evening in the flyweight division en el peso paja femenina de 3 asaltos, scheduled for 3 rounds. Your judges are, los jueces son Dorian Mirasola, Jonathan Lehane y Vicente Rodríguez. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. De la esquina azul, out of the blue corner, el peso oficial, the official weight, 125 pounds, 125 libras. Entra con un récord de 3 victorias, ninguna derrota. She walks in a jaula with 3 victories and no defeats out of San Jose, Costa Rica. Veronica Vargas. Y de la esquina roja, out of the red corner, she walks in with the official weight of 124.4 pounds, el peso oficial, 124.4 libras con un récord de 5 victorias, 2 derrotas y un empate. She walks in with a record of 5 victories, 2 defeats, and 1 draw. De Ciudad de México, México, Nadia, Vera. Y cuando comienza el combate, el árbitro Marcos Pérez.
Quiero una pelea limpia, obedezca a mi comando, ¿ok? Choquen guantes, ¿quieren? Sus esquinas.
Now this matchup is a very, very exciting one. Veronica Vargas, undefeated, going up against the experienced Nadia Vera.
Lots of experience. Campbell, Alex, as we get started, Veronica Vargas taking on her second bout this year. It's the most that she's fought in a year. She took on 1 fight a year, took a break, and now in February took a victory.
Now both of these girls love the head and arm throw, so you can see Nadia Vera right now digging for it. But the strength of Veronica Vargas and also doing the right thing, really clinching up there. But it's going to be a battle of head and arm throws because these two love judo throws, haragoshi, ogoshi. We'll just see who gets the best of it first.
And Campbell, Nadia Vera has a lot of experience in Mexico and of course in other promotions. Definitely could be someone that could be standing out in the women's division here in Combate Global.
Yeah, you know, we know the gym very well. Bone Break is a particular favorite, and hola to Raul down there. He's a good friend of Combate's, and there's always a lot of great fighters coming through that gym. And what a name, Bone Breakers. Might be a good name for Nadia.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of people who have broken bones inside the cage, and now She is really going to town, pinned up against the cage. A big key to victory is going to be which fighter can be the most successful inside the clinch, because they're going to be getting dirty in there.
Yeah, Veronica Vargas definitely likes that stand-up game, but Nadia as well is not afraid to go to the ground. Coming off, most recently, a victory back in April by rear naked choke. But Vargas playing La Jaula quite well, Alex.
Yeah, she made the most of that overhook that she had. And now, again, keeping things tight. Somewhere that Nadia had struggled with was against an opponent who was throwing a lot of knees.
She's not quitting on that position of letting it go. And then this one thing sometimes that some fighters just tend to not let go. If it's not working for you, they don't switch it. They're just very stubborn, right? They want to keep going with that same position. Sometimes it backfires.
It's a hard line to choose between following a plan and adapting.
And we saw Veronica Vargas get into some crazy positions against Blanca Medina, and she was able to weather the storm that whole time. So now here she's pinned against the cage by Nadia Vera, who is a very strong opponent, and they're both hunting for the takedown, but Nadia Vera gets it to the ground.
This could be the difference here, how much of that work she's put in for Veronica Vargas on the ground. You know, prior to this bout, back in February, she was training with former champ Juliana Pena over at the VFF camp in Chicago, the Valley Flow.
You see in this fight the difference between two fighters that actually know what to do when they get one another up against a fence or on the ground. They're not just resting, they're not stalling, they're very active in the clinch and very active here on the ground.
Nadia again coming off that victory of that rear naked choke. And coming up next, you saw it there, Patrick Lehane versus James Gonzalez, our main event of the evening, in a catch weight at 160 pounds. But Alex was having some difficulty on the ground for Vargas. But now
Vargas
skipping
is
out
able
now.
to get her hips out from there. She's been working with the Henzo Gracie team over there in Costa Rica, and she said she wanted to showcase her grappling skills. I think a skill that she might also want to show is her striking at distance, especially against someone like Nadia Vera, who's so powerful in the body lock position. But great on her for able to get up from that position. And there we see the spinning back fist that Nadia Vera loves to throw.
And we love to see.
We love some unorthodox stuff.
Well, there's one thing about our females here in Combate Global.
Solid knee.
Yeah.
They bring it, Ambo. And just a few, actually, in June 8th, we're going to have a women's all-full women's bout fight card. That's very exciting to see coming up real soon.
Women's sports, all in the news, all on TV. Combate's been out there for a while with emphasizing our female fighters.
And what's interesting, Campbell, is the type of women that we're finding in different parts of the world where they're not used to. Costa Rica, for instance, is the perfect example.
You know, I think this is a great sport for women. You know, leverage, balance, skill, technique. You know, the WNBA, you know, I shouldn't say this, but it's, you know, men are better upper body. I prefer the NBA. Ow, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh.
Well, I prefer the WNBA.
Maybe you might be trending right now, Campbell.
No, but it is true that women's MMA really keeps things going because the grappling is just so sensational, like we're seeing right now.
And look at this.
Women's sports is on the rise.
They're clinching, but they're beating the crap out of each other.
And that in itself is a tipper
That was a great round.
Great stuff for both these ladies to kick off that first round between Vargas and Vera.
Vera impressed me on that last fight of hers. That was really something.
Great action coming from the Costa Ricense and the Mexican going at it here. Just a few. Take a listen in. She wants to go to the ground. That's her game plan. Alex, take it away.
And here she gets a good Uchimata, working some punches alongside the fence. And that's something that she's going to want to look for the rest of this fight and stay away from those head and arm throws, because Nadia Vera's upper body strength, in order to keep her down, is there. So there was a lot of clinching and body lock exchanges. We'll see if Veronica wants to keep playing that game or if she's going to want to work at distance a little bit and show off some of that striking.
Well, the coach just say she wants to take you to the ground. That is her game plan. Use that distance. Use the striking. That's what we want. Let's see if she listens to the coach.
Wow, and we're already seeing a little bit of bruising from Nadia Vera, who I've been impressed in the past when she has gotten hit a lot.
Alex, was that the knee? You think that was the knee that did that? It's a real contusion for me.
Because she doesn't usually show damage that much. When she went against a Glory kickboxing champ, she was hit over 140 times and didn't wear that much damage. But now Veronica really showing her power, immediately making her show damage.
The mark has been left by the Costarricense.
Let's see what the City of Mexico Bone Breakers will be able to do with double underhooks along the fence here. This is, again, where she wants to keep it. That's what Veronica Vargas' coach was warning her about, but able to circle out here. And now we see that Veronica Vargas gets the nod from two judges' scorecards.
And that's the beautiful thing here about Combate, Campbell. We started about this 2 years ago, roughly or so. We have the open scoring.
I love it.
Imagine in baseball not knowing the score.
Can you imagine that?
To me. Alex, you're super knowledgeable when you're talking about these moves. Help explain to our audience, some of them who may be new to Combate and new to MMA,
Yes.
what you're seeing.
Yes, these women are so strong from their head positioning, from being able to really swim for the underhooks that they want, and even working from the overhooks. But it all comes down to the little details of getting the angles. And when we see Veronica Vargas here trying to clamp onto the head, she doesn't have a great front headlock position, but she is just trying to avoid getting taken down by sprawling. But the cage is in the way, so we'll see Nadia Vera fight for that single leg takedown, body lock to the ground, and work her way in an attempt to mount.
And those bruises definitely made sense. We saw the stats, Vargas connecting close to 40 shots.
This is a bit of deja vu, Rodolfo, from February. You know, Veronica, first 2 rounds, she gets in some precarious positions, but she's able to find her way out of them.
That's something that you cannot take the Costarricense out. She has a lot of heart. She has a lot of grit. And she can definitely come out of any tough position. And that's what we live for here in Combate Global, Campbell. We love those fighters that when you least expect it, they're able to just turn up the notch to get that victory. We've seen them over and over again.
You know, you can say grit, you can say heart, you can see cortisone. That's what Combate is about, really. New fighters, young fighters, putting on a show, trying to impress their abuela back home.
Yeah, there is a lot of family members watching live on Fuse. I mean, this amazing platform that we have and able to support it across the nation. It's great. I talked to Veronica Vargas, and she said the only person that she does it for truly is herself, but she knows that she has a lot of support from her family as well.
No, family doesn't go into La Jaula with you.
Exactly. It's just you and your opponent in there.
Vargas trying to make a move, perhaps trying to switch over if she can to find him out, trying to find something for Vera. But Vargas on the ground trying to search as well. Alex in this position, she attempted there to go for a triangle, but that wasn't anywhere there.
Yeah, Vargas is being pinned up against the cage here, but again, she has great hip mobility, so when she is able to escape in these type of positions, it's great on her, but now she's just gonna have to fight to not get her back taken with 1 minute and 25 seconds.
And she's been neutralized here.
Yeah, she's definitely in dangerous waters here, and a great knee. She was looking for that knee for Vera. Vargas needs to find something out of her back pocket and change the route that this bout is going if she wants to get this victory and continue to remain undefeated.
Yeah, we're definitely going to look to have to release some of that pressure coming from Vera and circle off the cage. Again, I think she's going to have to start going for distance between these two because she's not getting the better of these in-clinch exchanges.
No, she's being neutralized, and even if then you're leaving it to the judges to figure out which one of the fighters comes out
exactly
better than the other. Not really winning the round, it's not losing the round.
Vera sticking to that game plan so far has worked very well for her. Not allowing Vargas to use the distance and use her striking, just pinning her. There's not on the scoreboards there so far in this round as we come out to the end, Alex.
Does Vargas look tired to you guys?
She does.
Or is she just listless?
I think she is just not moving with as much sense of urgency as we see her do in the third round, like she did against Blanca Medina. So I'm very excited to see where this third round goes.
We're about to finish off the second chapter of this bout between Vargas and Vera, Costa Rica versus Mexico.
You know, I'm going to go out on a limb. I think that was Vargas's round.
Let's wait and see, Campbell, as our judges tallying up the numbers. And let's take a listen here in that corner, Alex, as we'll take a look in just a few seconds to that second round.
Yes, some unconventional back fist coming from Veronica, from Vera. And again, this takedown here, solid work. And she was basically able to control at least 2 minutes of ground time here. And see those knees, a hook after. I think what Veronica Vargas needs to do when she gets out there is start coming at Nadia with knees from different angles and keeping it at distance.
Yeah, you can't allow her to go inside. That's the game plan that she has, and it has been working for the Mexican. And now she has to do just 5 minutes to kill. And it seems that she'll probably go and get a victory for Vargas. Striking, that's what she needs to open up that distance, Alex, and that's going to be a keeper. Does she have the endurance, Campbell? That's the question.
She looked tired there, to me.
I think we're going to see some fire from her in the third round, though. Sometimes, you know, when it's the first round, you get the sleepies, and sometimes you need to get punched in the face a few times to kind of wake up.
Well, I know it's like that for me when I go to work.
Well, we get a tank of coffee here, Campbell, if you need some. We're good in that.
Cafecito in Miami.
There you go, right back to it, pinning Vargas to la jaula. Vera sticking to her game plan. They worked in the first and second. At this point, they're now switching the tables here. Vargas with the advantage, Alex.
And we're at distance. We know that Nadia Vera has struggled in the past when she's on the back foot.
That was a strong left.
Like she's coming forward now, she might see more success, now especially on the feet.
She's feeling the momentum. That could be the change of pace in this fight for Vargas. And if she wants to get that victory, it has to be done right now.
Now we see the judges' scorecard. 19-19, Judge 1, Judge 2, 19-19, and 18-20 for Judge 3.
Was I right?
Yes, you were.
All right. I like that.
Right in the money.
Now the third and final round. Who wants it more? Again, when we were at the distance, we saw some success from Veronica Vargas, really able to land some punches, and it's really exciting to see a striker like her. And just imagine, if she goes 4-0, we could see a potential matchup between her and La Loba or Maritza Sanchez with that undefeated record.
Campbell, I know
Wait,
that
isn't
sounds...
that mine? Don't I get to decide that? I'll tell you, based on this fight, I wouldn't do that. Because I
You don't think she
that...
can handle it?
No, I didn't know that. No. But I think I want to see a more dynamic fight. And I tell you, a lot of this, both first and second round, neutralizing your opponent's not what I want to see.
Mucho más acción. That's what we all love for.
Mucho más acción.
Vera, though, pulling in the last of what she can. As we can look at the stats there, the 57 for Vargas compared to the 50 for Vera, but what has been most effective is that ground game. We're pinning Vargas to la jaula, neutralizing her. It has had the advantage for Vera. Once again, she searches for the same way that's been working for that first and second. We're down to the wire. Vargas needs to get out of this position, try to find a way to get this bout in the center of la jaula, Alex, and get that striking going. She opened up the round with a straight left. They kind of changed the pace, but hasn't done much since.
She definitely has the weaponry and the tools at distance, and I think if she can break away, circle off the cage here, we could see some fireworks. Veronica Vargas fights with so much passion. She's a spiritual human as well, so we'll see if she's able to get it going within the last minute and 48 seconds here.
You know, if you're new to combate, new to the sport of MMA, this is an exhausting sport. It is hard to really understand how tired these fighters are after 3 5-minute rounds. The adrenaline's flowing.
Solid knees from Veronica inside the clinch there. We're definitely going to need more of those. And see if she can also get in on a front headlock position.
Yeah, you know, I got to say, this fight is dragging me down. Like, I don't even feel energetic. I want to see more. I want to see something here. This is a good fight. It's a good technical fight. We're leading off the night with this fight. I want to see more. I want to see more action. I want a little more mucho más action.
Much more action is what Jefe is calling for. There's a minute left. If both these ladies want to make a name for themselves, somebody has to put that foot on the accelerator here. Now the shot to the body shot. That could, but once again, Vera sticking, pinning Vargas to La Jaula, and not much doing much for that clinch.
Solid knee there as well. I think part of the neutralization is both of these fighters were so confident inside the clinch that it neutralized both of their. Because when I talked to Veronica, she said that that's where she's most comfortable, that's where she wants to execute her game plan. But when we look at the past fights of Nadia, that's also where she wants to execute her game plan. And we're seeing that a little bit here. Now Nadia with both underhooks. Will she be able to get it to the ground or just pound her out for the rest of this round?
She got less than 15 seconds to go if Vargas wants to get that victory, but the way it's going, Vera seems to be taking the upper hand in this bout. Not much excitement for you, Campbell, but
this is a good fight. I like a little more striking. I would like to see them in the middle of the cage. I think they did, essentially, because their skill sets overlapped, they were neutralizing each other.
Well, we're about to find the final decision. Who took this one? Was it Costa Rica or Mexico? We'll be back with the result after the break here on Fuse.
Veronica Vargas versus Nadia Vera. Let's get the official decision.
Después de 3 asaltos, vamos a los resultados de los jueces. After 3 rounds of action, we go to our judges' scorecards. Vicente Rodriguez scored it 29-28, 29-28 para Vera. Dorian Marisola, 29-28, 29-28 para Vargas. Y Jonathan Lehane, 29-28 for your winner. Su ganador by way of split decision por decisión dividida, Veronica. Veronica Vargas.
And Veronica Vargas continues her undefeated record, 4-0 for the Costa Rican. Pura vida, a proud moment for her. Obviously, Campbell, some of the action got a little nullified by all the clinch work, but a very satisfied Veronica
She
Vargas
deserved that
there.
win. That was her fight. That was her fight. Glad to have her back. I think she's going to have a great career for us at Combate. Very strong, very skilled.
Yeah, she represents Renzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu over there in Costa Rica, getting some great shots in there. And then Nadia Vargas, very determined and adamant to get those head and arm throws. But when it came to the distance, Veronica Vargas really showed out. And again, if she fixes up a few tools, she could be a serious prospect and maybe even a future champion of Combate Global someday. Congratulations to Veronica Vargas, really showing out, at distance.
Good stuff.
Great work from both these fighters. Nadia Vera, tough, representing Bone Breakers. But again, those body shots from Veronica Vargas, a great performance from the Costa Rican sensation, continuing on with her undefeated record. She's also really popular on TikTok, so if you guys want to check out some of her highlights there, definitely do so. Now we look at these stats. 46 out of 72 punches landed for Veronica Vargas, our winner. 27 of her 32 kicks at a 73% accuracy rate compared to Nadia Vera at just 44. The effectiveness of those shots, as we saw on the face of Nadia Vera, they were very effective. And Nadia Vera, not one to show damage often, but Veronica Vargas was able to do that. And also 2-1 takedowns, an all-around great performance by the undefeated Costa Rican. Up next, we have a great matchup, and this is going to be our featured bout. Luis Escudero, the popular TikTok sensation. Campbell, how proud are you to have him on the roster tonight?
You know, I take a lot of heat sometimes because people say, what are you doing with, someone from TikTok, someone from Instagram? This guy can really fight. So I am delighted to have, even if he did not have a gazillion million followers.
Yep. And another
he's an
person
active fighter
that can fight is James Gonzalez. So a little bit more about him.
MMA has brought me a lot of friends. I learned a lot of discipline and how to take care of myself. And it's just good being in the gym and being around guys who want to push themselves. I always had to fight. I had kind of a tough upbringing, raised in the system. I was forced to care in group homes and stuff when I was a kid. As I got older and I found martial arts, I was able to direct that energy in a positive way. A thing that makes me different from my opponent is I'm much more experienced. I know who I am as a martial artist. I feel like I'm dangerous from pretty much anywhere I can be. Kind of a bad taste in my mouth a little bit with the way my last 2 fights went. I'm definitely looking to take it out on this guy, and I'm looking forward to, showing I belong where I do.
De la esquina azul, out of the blue corner, James Gonzalez.
James Gonzalez, 10-7, a lot of experience, and Aljamain Sterling in his corner. We'll see a little bit of that Aljamain Sterling style when he likes to go pretend like he's a backpack on people's back, representing Matt Serra BJJ as a black belt, a ton of experience, a former Cage Fury featherweight champion, and a guy who's down to fight anywhere, any place. Considering this fight, he took it on short notice, willing to fight Pat.
Super experienced fighter. I think he heard about this fight and thought, easy peasy. That's what I think. I think he's got PFL, Bellator champ. He's got Sterling in his corner. I think he thinks this is a walkthrough.
And he's definitely hungry to get back on the win column after the 2 decision losses in his past match. But Pat Lehane is no easy foe. So a little bit more about the Irishman.
What this sport has given me is something to aim for, building my way up and working my way towards a world title, and I want that belt, so I'm going to ask Campbell where that belt is. Since I made my debut and have fought 8 times, I've been, I get recognised around my home city a lot now. Like, a lot of people know me from fighting. It's good to be a part of the upcoming fighters from Cork City. There's only certain times in my life where I like to get bloody, and it's fighting, and I'll bite down and do it when it needs to be done, and I enjoy it. James is going to want to take me down. His corner is going to tell him to get me down to the mat. That's going to be their goal. Obviously, I'm a striker, so I've got all the skills in the bag already to fight him and win. So I think it comes down to the dog in the fight, and that's all that matters.
Y de la esquina roja, his opponent out of the red corner, Patrick Lehane.
Pat the Leech Lehane, or as President Campbell likes to call him, Pat Pretty Boy Lehane. He is a Combate Global homegrown star. 6 wins inside La Jaula, a great win recently. And before his last fight against Roberto Romero in La Jaula, everyone was saying, oh, how is the ring rust going to be? Well, he shut the haters up on that part. And now he's active and ready to go and ready to show out what he's been working on these past few months.
Yeah, this is certainly going to be a challenging fight for him, even though his opponent, Gonzalez, has come in on very short notice. James Gonzalez has come to us by way of PFL and Bellator. Probably twice as many fights as Patrick. And again, I think he thinks this is a walkthrough. He thinks this is a warm-up fight.
And you can't forget that Lehane exploded onto the professional scene in 2021, winning the first ever Combate one-night 4-man European tournament as a pro debut fighter and defeating 2 consecutive opponents with a combined 24 pro fights between them. So he's definitely not afraid to fight someone with some experience. And James Gonzalez has that, but these two are fighting at catch weight under 160 pounds. So we'll see how the cardio plays out for both of these guys, but we know Pat Lehane is very hungry. So up next, USA versus Ireland on Combate Global. Fuse TV, welcome back. We have our main event of the evening, James Gonzalez versus Patrick Lehane in this Ireland versus USA showdown. James Alley Cat Gonzalez, 9 years older than the 24-year-old Pat Lehane. The height and reach advantage going the way of the Irishman, and both fighters weighing in under the agreed-upon 160 catch weight. Now we'll send it to Rodolfo Roman for the official announcement.
This is your main event of the evening. Esta es la pelea estelar de la noche. It's a catchweight bout at 160 pounds. Una pelea en el peso pactado de 160 libras de 3 asaltos scheduled for 3 rounds. Your judges are, los jueces son Vicente Rodríguez, Richard Green Jr. y Jonathan Lehane. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. De la esquina azul, out of the blue corner, walks in with an official weight of 159.4 pounds. Entró a la jaula con un peso oficial de 159.4 libras con un record de 10 victorias, 7 derrotas. He walks in with a record of 10 victories, 7 defeats. Out of East Patchogue, New York, here is James the Alley Cat Gonzalez. Y de la esquina roja, out of the red corner, the official weight, el peso oficial, 158.4 libras. He weighed in official weight 158.4 pounds with a record of 7 victories and 2 defeats. Un récord de 7 victorias y 2 derrotas. De Cork City, Ireland, Patrick the Leech Lehane. And when the action begins, your referee, el árbitro, Marcos Perez.
Obey my commands and protect yourselves at all times. I expect a clean fight. Touch gloves now. Back to your corners.
So if you're new to our sport,
Ready? Ready? Acción!
a catch weight is when the fighters do not make the official weight. So they're fighting an agreed upon weight. James came into this fight in very short notice and probably couldn't get there in time. I think he accepted the fight 3 days notice.
Wow.
So that's pretty amazing.
And that has to do something huge for Campbell, for someone to step up like that at last minute. That's an
Well,
impressive
you know,
stuff.
that OG it does appeal to me. Look, James has been around the block. He's been in the PFL. He's been in the Bellator. Patrick Combate is his alma mater. He's been here for his entire professional career.
Alley Cat, no doubt, taking on some big-time guys. Has had the experience, close to 20 fights as a professional coming in. Benjamin Sterling cornering him, but Alex, that definitely experience can make a difference here. But Patrick now holding back.
I don't think Patrick's impressed.
Patrick doing a great job of walking him down and controlling the cage.
Yeah, he's backing him up. He didn't get the script that James is the veteran and has come here for an easy fight.
No doubt about that, Patrick Lehane, and he's no stranger of taking on different opponents on the same day. Competed in 2 tournaments here in Combate Global, Campbell, including the inaugural European tournament, which he ended up winning.
Yeah, you know, the tournaments, they're a different thing when you're fighting multiple opponents in one night. But, whoa.
Getting flashy in here, James Gonzalez.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's representing USA, but he has Puerto Rican ethnicity as well. And he's getting backed up by Pat Lehane, who just dropped
from the Alley Cat.
And despite being a Matt Serra BJJ black belt, he still likes to thump. He still likes to get into those firefights, and he just got a clean punch against Pat Lehane.
What an overhand from the Alley Cat. That kind of woke up Patrick, and we've seen in past experiences.
I don't know if it woke him up. It more like put him out.
He does have a little redness in his nose there, guys.
And I doubt that James is going to want Pat to get up from here, so he'll probably want to work in some leg kicks and then get right back onto the ground, look for some ground and pound.
Patrick Lehane did say that this is what he would do.
Moving into side control here, isolating an arm immediately. It's so instinctual the way he moves.
This is not good.
Yeah, we've seen him in difficulties even for Patrick Lehane with Christian Puas, Perez, Jose Ferreiro, and Alex. You know, what does he need to do in this position to get out? He's on the ground.
He's going to have to keep those arms, you know, tucked in tight and not let them get isolated, because we've seen James Gonzalez get real creative with his submissions. He's trying to work away, but now
Crimping away.
Attempting to get into the mount, but he's getting up here.
Straight down again for the takedown for the Alley Cat. Using his body weight very appropriately, Alex.
Yeah, it's definitely awesome to watch. Pat was looking at a shoulder crunch here. He had both butterfly hooks. But again, working off your back when you're not a jiu-jitsu specialist against
stuff.
a BJJ black belt, that's not easy.
That composure definitely makes a big difference. That experience, Campbell, that we talked about, even though he took the fight on short notice.
Advancing into mount here, this could be trouble. Really stretching him out as well. He's looking for that kip escape. But again, the hip pressure of James Gonzalez, that's not going to be an easy guy to move.
And we've seen him again in those 2 previous bouts he had against Perez and Pereira. That's where he lacked a little bit from Lehane.
I think James let him come in and then took his shot. I think Patrick's got to, get through this round. He's got a minute and 20 seconds left. He's got to get through this round and then sort of compose himself and try to hurt James.
Yeah, he needs to weather the storm, not take too much damage. His corner's probably telling him he has about a minute left. And now Aljamain Sterling calling for the crossface for James Gonzalez.
What's a crossface, Alex?
He wants to put the shoulder into Pat Lehane's face so that he looks one way so that he can't move his body the other way. So whichever way he's trying to escape to, James is going to want to force his face to look the opposite direction, because where your head's looking is where the body is going to go as well.
See, jiu-jitsu, this ground style fighting is like chess.
He has a crucifix, working on that crucifix there.
Really beautiful stuff. He's isolating that arm now.
And taking his time.
The Irishman could be in deep trouble in this first round, not going his way. He opened up quite well.
Tick, 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 tick. Move that clock up. I want to see Patrick get out of this round.
Yeah, Patrick does not like to be in this position.
But
he
he's
is a
definitely
striker.
very tough. And we know that from the past fights that we've seen. And now, with almost 10 seconds left, I think he should be good to go.
Got 10 seconds to go, Alex and Campbell, as we get ready. Maybe there'll be a change of pace for Patrick, so the fight will start on the feet. We'll be back with more of Lehane Gonzalez.
Ready, ready, fight!
We're back with more action. Second round, Lehane in green representing Ireland and Gonzalez with the white representing the United States. And it was a turn of events in that mid-first round where James the Alley Cat Gonzalez landed a haymaker to drop Lehane to the ground, Alex.
And Patrick, you see, he's got to come back here. He's got to be very aggressive. He's got to show James that there's going to be a danger in a takedown.
And now Pat, the one shooting. But
Whoa,
gets reversed by James Gonzalez. Probably not someone that you want to grapple against. Quickly move into the back. We know Aljamain Sterling's in the corner, so he gets great advice learning how to be a backpack.
Beautiful. Look at that body right, that figure four. Looking for that rear naked choke. Look at the left arm, Alex.
And even just the pressure from the body triangle is very, very uncomfortable.
Patrick, now folks,
under
you
the
see,
neck there.
under the neck, it's pretty deep. Patrick started, looks like a little cut as well under the left eye.
Let's see that hard from Patrick. He needs to escape. Alex needs to roll to the side. How does he get out of this position?
Getting out of this position is definitely going to be pretty hard. He's under the neck.
Patrick
the body
fighting.
triangle in. That's going to be tough to escape.
He may have the top right there for
and the
James the Alley Cat. Gonzalez taking the fight on day's notice. Gets a W. Back on the win column over the Irishman, Patrick Lehane. Wow, amazing stuff from the veteran. We'll be back with the final result after the break.
gets submitted by James Gonzalez for the official decision. Here's Rodolfo.
Esta pelea concluye en el segundo asalto a 1 minuto 24 segundos. This fight concludes in the second round at 1 minute and 24 seconds. For your winner, para su ganador by way of a rear naked choke submission por sumisión mata león, James the Alley Cat Gonzalez.
James Gonzalez getting it done for Matt Serra Jiu-Jitsu and the Serra Longo fight team. Now we have the highlights coming up next and much more action coming your way.
Want to see all the action for yourself? Combate Global. Call 786-471-4377. Watch Mucho Más Acción live. Well, it was a victory for the veteran James the Alley Cat Gonzalez over Patrick Lehane, coming into South Florida with a W. And Campbell, we know that Patrick Lehane, a staple here in Combate Global, but he's had some issues going on the ground. That has been his part where he needs to improve.
Well, yeah, no, look, I love Pat. He's, as I said, Combate is his alma mater. But you see, he's okay on his feet, and he's keeping James back here, and there's a kind of a cool move there that didn't work out for James, but he was just outclassed on the ground. He just was outclassed. There's no other way to put it. I love Patrick. I love Ireland.
And after a dominant performance on the ground by James Gonzalez in that first round, it was quite surprising that he ended up going for the takedown in the second. So he goes for it here. It gets reversed. Thought it was going to be an arm and guillotine for a second, but he goes to sprawl, makes his way to the back, and gets the tap. Pat Lehane gets submitted by James Gonzalez. An impressive performance with the bulldog grip right there.
Look, I'm not making excuses for Patrick. I do like him. I do think he's got a great future. He looks light compared to James, you know, and they did do the catch weight. And I think Patrick fully underestimated his opponent.
Yeah, as we take
Great
a look
learning
at this.
experience, though.
Take a look at the stats here. 37 punches for Gonzalez compared to the 30 of Lehane, which that tends to be his favorite weapon, but wasn't there here tonight. And then the kicks at 23 to compare to 10. And the accuracy, very effective for the Alley Cat. And the effectiveness is 50%. But coming up next, we have Costa Rica. Carlos Cordoba taking on Luis Escudero, a social media influence, over 5 million followers. Crazy
amazing
stuff.
But listen, I just want to say, Alley Cat's a better nickname than Leech.
Want to see all the action for yourself? Combate Global. Call 786-471-4377. Watch Mucho Más Acción live.
Me considero una persona que le gusta pues, la violencia, por eso peleo. Mi estilo de pelea siempre ha sido muy agresivo, he tratado de ser un peleador muy técnico. He hecho algunos cambios principalmente para este campamento. A este nivel, en una liga tan grande como lo es Combate Global, con tanta exposición, pues es un sueño y pues vamos con todo. Para mí la victoria esta noche lo es absolutamente todo. Van a ver a un Carlos, a un peleador más estratégico, muchísimo más violento. Mi mente, mi espíritu, mi alma, mi corazón, todo mi cuerpo van a estar aquí. Lástima, lo siento mucho por Luis, pero le tocó esta versión de Carlos Córdoba que lo va a destrozar.
Costa Rica's Carlos Cordoba has had that much success in La Jaula. He changed caps. He knows, or he believes, that today may be the night he gets his first win inside La Jaula.
That package scared me.
Hace 3 años para mí representaba un sueño estar en la jaula que tengo aquí atrás en mis espaldas en este momento. Entonces es una bendición para mí y un orgullo para mí y para mi familia. A mi familia siempre le ha dado miedo cada vez que me subo a la jaula, pero gracias a Dios me he ganado la confianza de que confíen en mí, de que vean mis peleas, aunque mi mamá es la que más nerviosa se pone. Yo sufría un poco de bullying y a base de esto gané más seguridad, gané más confianza en mí mismo, me di cuenta de las cosas que podían cambiar y gracias a eso fue que seguí entrenando. Mi estilo de pelea se basa mucho en ver las deficiencias que tenga mi oponente. Trato de explotarlas todo el tiempo. Soy cinta morada de jiu-jitsu brasileño, pero también me gusta mucho el intercambio, el clásico boxeo mexicano. Cuando yo estoy en la jaula, ahí entra el Luis Pride Escudero, el peleador. No entra el influencer, no entra el estudiante de lenguas extranjeras, entra el peleador. Ganar esta pelea significaría que pertenezco aquí.
Luis Pride Escudero is here to make a statement that he's more about likes and 5 million followers. He is a fighter, and he has a chance to prove it inside La Jaula tonight.
Carlos Cordoba versus Luis Escudero up next. Carlos Cordoba representing Costa Rica, but training out of Orlando for this fight camp. He is 1-4, looking to get his first win inside La Jaula. And I know some of his training partners, they say that he is so technical and in practice, he gets it done. But sometimes when you get on the big stage, things just don't go your way. So he is hungry to get that first win inside La Jaula. And who knows, if he gets a win against Luis Escudero, that's a big win for him, Campbell.
Yeah, look, we know this guy's record. Everyone says he's talented. Luis is coming in. You know, we see Luis as a Instagrammer who can fight. So this seems like a pretty good way to welcome into La Jaula. Carlos is a veteran. He's been here before. I think he does need to get over his stage fright a little bit. And he probably thinks Luis is an easy fight, so maybe that's going to give him some confidence. And Luis said to me, he goes, I've been an Instagrammer for 3 years, but I've been a fighter for 10.
Yes, he's coming in with a lot of experience to take on Costa Rica's Carlos Cordoba, whose end goal is to open an MMA school as well. So we'll be able to see if he gets the win here. Rodolfo, take it away.
Y el oponente de la esquina roja. His opponent out of the red corner, Luis Escudero.
Luis Escudero, 5 million followers on TikTok, 500,000 on Instagram. His content is very entertaining, and it's also really useful if you are someone looking to improve your self-defense. So I love that he's not only passionate about his own martial arts career, but also about helping other people. As you can see, he is a black belt in kickboxing, purple belt in BJJ, and now he is going to go in there and showcase his skills.
And he's a black belt in fashion. That is one cool road.
He's definitely looking fly out here in Miami tonight. Luis looks like a really, really cool guy representing Hermosillo, Mexico. And now he is going to get ready to showcase his skill set against a tough Carlos Cordoba, who's hungry. Oh, yeah, we're getting some slaps in there. You'd ever do that, Campbell? You ever been slapped in the face like that to get you hyped?
Yeah, well, I've been slapped in the face. Usually when I was too hyped.
Yeah, and people are like, Campbell, stop that. Slap, slap. Sometimes we have to get El Jefe to wake up with a nice slap. But Luis Escudero, we don't need to wake him up. He is ready to go.
Down.
Look at that shredded six-pack he has going on. And originally when he got into martial arts, he was slightly humbled in the sparring cage against a girl. And he says, I can't ever let that happen again. So he dedicated his life.
Beaten up by a girl.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, Hermosillo is a tough town. I don't know if folks watching know about it, but it's an industrial town. It's a town where people work hard, a blue-collar town, and probably a great place to grow a fighter.
Yes, he is representing Mexico, taking on Costa Rica. We have mucha más acción coming up for you guys. Do not go anywhere. And we are getting ready for Luis Escudero versus Carlos Cordoba. On our TikTok live chat, we had a lot of people in the comments saying this is the fight that they are most excited for, and rightfully so. Luis Escudero coming off of a crazy first round finish, flying armbar submission, and Carlos Cordoba looking to right the wrong from his past, getting finished in the first round of his last 2 fights. So this should be a very interesting one. Carlos Cordoba, 30 years old, versus the 27-year-old Luis Escudero. Rodolfo, take it away and introduce our fighters.
Este duelo es en el peso pluma, la división de peso pluma, and the featherweight division, scheduled for 3 rounds de 3 asaltos. The judges are, los jueces son Richard Green Jr., Dorian Marisola y Jonathan Lehane. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. De la esquina azul, out of the blue corner, this man entered with an official weight at 145.2 pounds. Entró a la jaula con un peso oficial de 145.2 libras. Tiene un récord de 1 victoria y 4 derrotas. Comes in with a record of 1 victory, 4 defeats. De San Jose, Costa Rica, by way of Orlando, Florida, Carlos, the Costa Rican Killer, Cordoba. De la esquina roja, out of the red corner, he walks in with an official weight of 145.6 pounds. Entró a la jaula con el peso oficial de 145.6 libras y tiene un récord de 3 victorias y 2 derrotas. Comes in with a record of 3 victories, 2 defeats. De Hermosillo, México, Luis Pride Escudero. And when the action begins, el referee, el árbitro, Marcos Perez.
Ok, ya saben las reglas, quiero una pelea limpia, sigan mi comando en cada momento, choque guantes, a su esquina, por favor.
Marcos Perez getting our fighters ready to go.
Defend yourself at all times, follow my commands. Luis is a showman. Just his little warm-up was interesting.
He is, and that's what you got to do in order to get the fans on social media. Really work that on-air time, and opening up with a vicious leg kick. Carlos is definitely going to have to check those before they start adding up, because that is a lethal weapon of Luis Pride Escudero.
And the pride of Hermosillo Escudero definitely looks like an anime figure. Has a lot of those cool movements, not afraid to come in. In fact, he had a submission victory that started to trend all over the net, Campbell and Alex, and had a lot of people talking about it.
Listen, I know it's my company and everything, but where was he fighting before this?
Do we have to say names?
Then don't.
Regional promotions.
Regional
Mexico.
promotions.
There we go. We'll keep it at that. We'll keep it at that.
The Hermosillo Battling Championships.
And now Carlos Cordoba looking
maybe
to
a
work
guillotine there.
Look at this.
But he does have a front headlock position. He's
not
looking
quite
to
tight. Let's
maybe
see.
work into a high elbow position, which is a much higher percentage guillotine choke.
Yeah, Escudero's not giving up in this position. Still holding on tight.
Much more of a neck crank right now, for fans at home.
It's like twisting his head off.
He didn't have anything there whatsoever. Cordoba, though, lives on through. You know, if he escapes this first round, Cordoba, you know, he can have something on here. We saw both of his previous performances, and it just didn't go quite well. Very quickly ended.
I really like to see Cordoba switching stances a little, being elusive against a guy like Luis, who comes in hot with those kicks. So if he's switching stances, that'll definitely alleviate some of the leg pain he's going to start feeling after those kicks add up. Solid hook, a flurry, a barrage of punches.
Punches and bunches.
Yeah,
we like that.
He's a very exciting fighter, Escudero. A purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He considers his style of fighting the Mexican boxing, but more of a freestyle fighter.
Luis is really quick in there on the feet. Everything happens in flashes. So we're going to have to see some crazy head movement from Cordoba to not get caught with one of those.
Oh, took a shot there from Escudero, but Cordoba still hanging in tight. Heard you say, Campbell Pryor, protect yourself at all times. He has to keep those hands up for Cordoba.
Yeah.
Oh, what a strike for Cordoba!
Escudero is down, but quickly gets
He recovered.
his gathering
He's
back
up.
together.
Oh, and maybe a takedown, but he has to be very careful. He's pulled off submissions prior like this.
Double leg takedown.
My favorite fight already.
Into the guard of Luis Escudero, who is very dangerous off his back, looking for the armbar here.
This is what Escudero likes to do, to pull off those unexpected submissions.
Now he's looking to get a triangle choke. He's isolating one of the arms, but it looks like he has both arms, so he would have to go for a dead orchard, which is basically when you have both arms.
What the hell is a dead orchard? I started this sport, and I don't even know what that is, a dead
Inspired by
orchard.
Nathan Orchard of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. It's a creative way, but again, he's moving here into, now back into the guard, getting some ground and pound from Carlos Cordoba.
Cordoba definitely feeling the momentum right here, feeling real good. Bringing it to Escudero. And he definitely did his homework on Escudero on the ground, where Cordoba could have a lot more success. That change of camps going to up in Orlando.
And you see the constant switch of hits.
Look at that
here,
arm though,
aiming
very
for the
loosely
arm.
there. Very careful, Alex.
And he's going to try to free his arm here. But it's right by the hip, and that's where you'll get the leverage to get the break.
Yeah.
So that's what Luis is looking for right here. He has a great angle on it, but being pushed up against the cage is kind of restricting him from extending.
Yeah, he can't get the extension
Yeah.
because of the cage. So what he's going to try to do is lever the other guy's arm and break it off.
Good way so far to start this fight for Cordoba, and perhaps he could get that first W here in La Jaula. Good way of positioning that knee there to keep those legs apart away.
Solid ground and pound.
Great stuff from this man from Costa Rica. It could be a clean sweep for the Costarricense this evening if he pulls off this victory, where Vargas picking up a win earlier this evening.
And you got to wonder who the judges are going to side with on this one. I mean, Luis got dropped, and now he is on the wrong side of the ground and pound. Looks right here. Will they look at the submission attempts, or will they look at this ground and pound and give the round to
Cordoba's round.
Cordoba giving it his all.
That Luis is just hanging on at this point. 10 seconds.
10 seconds to go. Living on to the second chapter of this bout. Looking good for the Costarricense. We'll be back with more after the break. Carlos Cordoba out of Costa Rica taking on a social media influencer. But there's no doubt that he is a trained fighter, been at it for 10 years. But Cordoba looking real good to pick up his first W inside La Jaula. Ralph Roman joined by Campbell McLaren and Alex Wendling. So far, so good, guys.
Yeah, all good. And Luis came out of this round a little bit different than the first round. He realized it was a fight.
Not holding back. Escudero throwing in those creative movements, flying knees, punches. Pointing out something there to time out. Did he lose? What was it here? The mouthpiece. Didn't see it fly out there, but that's the first one. Going for the takedown. That was working for him in the first, Alex.
That seems sneaky to me.
Yeah, a little weird.
Yeah, he gets the takedown here, again in a guillotine position.
There's no timeouts in MMA.
There is crying, though. A lot of crying.
It seemed like he forgot his mouthpiece during the timeout.
Yeah, I think he forgot it and then
let him get it back.
maybe that was a strategy.
It can happen.
We got to protect those teeth. I get it. But wow, he went straight in for the takedown, and now Luis in not the best position, but again, he's really dangerous off his back.
Well, so far, so good for the Costarricense Cordoba, getting 10s on all of the judges' scorecards. And this is the same position left over from that first round. It was working quite well. But knowing the experience Escudero has had, he does pull out those sneaky submissions out of nowhere. He's very quick and veloz, so Cordoba can't sleep on it.
And this is where Carlos wants to keep the fight, because when we saw on the feet, there was a distinct speed advantage going in Luis's direction. So if he can keep the fight on the ground here, laying down some ground and pound, breaking away at Luis, he's going to be in a good position. And now it looks like he's sneaking in potentially a dart stroke if he's around the head, under the arm there. But he's definitely going to have to work that position and go position before submission.
Great start for this Costarricense Carlos Cordoba. He definitely has improved his fight game, working at the Excel.
Now he's looking to work to the back here. But Luis doing a good job of going 2-on-1. And now he's just going to have to work off the cage. He does not want to get mounted against the cage with a free hand of Carlos ready to pound on him.
The cage becomes a weapon almost for the fighters. They can use it defensively or offensively.
Now Luis covering up. Not much of a look to escape.
He's laying Marcos Perez looking very closely.
Yeah.
It may stop. And there it is, the first victory for Carlos Cordoba inside La Jaula of Combate Global.
Wow, he gets it done in amazing fashion against Luis Escudero, who is devastated in the corner. He was confident coming into this, but Carlos stayed disciplined with his game plan, getting the win and representing Costa Rica.
That's the beauty of the sport. You can never fall asleep. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge them by their record, Alex.
Wow, this ground and pound was vicious. Marcos Perez had seen enough, and it didn't look like Luis had much sense of urgency or even the energy to escape it from the get-go.
I don't think there was anything he could do.
Well, Costarricense, it's a clean sweep,
Elbows
2 victories
coming down
for the Costarricenses, and we'll be back looking forward for our next bout on June 8th. If you want to come here live, find out how. Here's the information. Want to see all the action for yourself? Combate Global. Call 786-471-4377. Watch Mucho Más Acción live.
Luis Escudero gets finished by Carlos Cordoba for the official decision. Rodolfo.
Este duelo concluye en el segundo asalto a 2 minutos 37 segundos. This fight ends at second round. 2 minutes and 37 seconds for your winner. By way of technical knockout, Carlos, the Costa Rican killer, Cordoba!
amazing highlight session up next. Also up next, we will have an encore of a great fight from last week. But before then, let's take a look at these highlights. I mean, man, we saw some neck cranks. We saw some great barrage of flurries from Luis. But when it got to the ground and Carlos was able to capitalize on ground and pound moments and knocking him down, getting a beautiful takedown here and able to finish the job.
Luis,
Wonderful
we want you
work
back.
by the Costa
Luis,
Rican.
great first fight in combate. Carlos, you did good. You redeemed yourself. Luis, come back.
Amazing
Take
work.
some Advil and come back.
Yes, we definitely want to see him back in action because he was looking great on the feet.
I think he just needs experience.
And now we're going to go to an encore fight from the amazing Tony the Conqueror Cortez.
Oh, you got to see this.
Happened last week, and it was a big one between Mauricio Rios versus Tony Cortez. Tony Cortez, the Conqueror, only 22 years old, was talking a lot of trash before this fight.
Tony only talks trash.
He only knows how
Tony
to talk
talks trash to me.
And we love that. Up next, coming up, Tony Cortez versus Mauricio Rios. Let's get the announcement.
Y arrancamos con mucha más acción, las reglas de la jaula. 3 vueltas de 5 minutos, 3 jueces, utilizando el sistema de 10 puntos. Este duelo en la división peso pluma desbao. In the featherweight division, los jueces son the judges are Richard Green Sr., James Lázaro y Vicente Rodríguez. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Introducing the blue corner, la esquina azul, wearing red, vestido de rojo, su peso oficial, 144 libras. He tipped the scale at 144 pounds. Esta noche entra a la jaula invicto como profesional con 4 victorias. Tonight, he enters la jaula undefeated as a pro with 4 victories. De sangre mexicana, Mexico City, México, Mauricio Rios. En la esquina roja, in the red corner, wearing pink, vestido de rosa, su peso oficial, 145.8 libras, his official weight, 145.8 pounds. Esta noche entra a la jaula invicto con 2 victorias. Tonight, he enters la jaula undefeated as a pro with 2 victories. From Corona, California, Tony the Conqueror Cortez. El referee, Tommy Santana.
Go to the back and start to clarify. Any questions? Any questions? Come out back.
That's it. Let's go.
I'm excited to rewatch this one. And right out the gate, Tony Cortez comes in hot, but Mauricio looking for the armbar. He is just so fun. 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu representative, but Tony the Conqueror Cortez is a headhunter.
Yeah, Rios is a submission expert, but look at the positioning of his guard with the striking, quite awkward. Very different to say the least. There's no doubt he wants to take this fight to the ground, but just look at those fast hands of Tony Cortez. He means business, Alex.
Yes, and he's representing California. He comes out here with quite the attitude and really was trying to get into the head of Mauricio Rios because this match was supposed to be in December. He missed weight, and now we're here today, ready to go and hungry.
No, sometimes you gotta wait to get what you want. Tony Cortez, very patient.
Solid kick.
Little Nate Diaz. Reminds me of him just a little bit, you know what I mean? That trash talk, that movement, that vibe, that charisma he has.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a rough upbringing and really perpetuates that in his fight style. Hard, heavy hitting, and now lining up his prey, wanting to make the kill in the liver shot.
Whoa, the shot! Tony the Conqueror Cortez with the win like a dagger. Shooting that left. Unbelievable stuff from Tony Cortez, Alex.
We have a superstar on our hands. It is Tony the Conqueror Cortez, who improves his record to 3-0 as an undefeated fighter.
We'll be back with the final result after the break here on Fuse. Welcome back. Tony Cortez with a phenomenal victory against Mauricio Rios. Beatrice, let us know the final result.
24 seconds of round number 1. And the winner by knockout, el ganador por knockout, Jose Cortez!
Great victory for Tony the Conqueror Cortez. Alex, this guy means business. What he says, he does.
He is the real deal. He is a star on the rise. Love him or hate him, he brings the heat every time he comes in La Jaula.
Yeah, and he's dressed in pink there, paying homage to his aunt who's battling cancer. What a phenomenal shot right to the rib area, like a dagger taking down a Mauricio Rios. Just couldn't quite back up. It was a little hard to tell because I thought it was the foot, but it was a straight shot, just landing right there like a missile, like a torpedo.
From that southpaw position, anything from the left side is generating so much power. He's a strong, strong guy and someone very entertaining to watch.
Absolutely amazing stuff, and we can't wait for more action. And by the way, June 8th, we have a phenomenal fight card. It's an all-women's fight card, Alex, and we know that our ladies in La Jaula mean business.
Yes, we cannot wait to see the return of Melissa Amaya, and then an amazing matchup between Ana Palacios and Melissa Gomez. Melissa Gomez, a Chilean fan favorite, TikTokers love her, and of course Ana Palacios representing the city of Mexico. That's going to be a good one, and also paying homage to the female fighters for an all-female fight card. We got to do it here on Fuse. Better like no one else.
Get your popcorn ready. We are ready for more Mucho Más Acción on June 8th. Our ladies will bring in a win for the Costa Rican Veronica Vargas. James Gonzalez with a win, the veteran. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening. On behalf of Cameron Blair and Alex Wendley, I'm Rodolfo Roman. We will catch you June 8th for more Combate Global inside La Jaula. Till next time, cheers.